What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of El Jardín Perdido. Today, we're spring cleaning. Alright guys, so we're here in early March. I've done a previous video on how to protect your plants from frost, etc. So I have a lot of things that are really condensed. I have some things that I got in frost nipped, and it's time to clean up here in spring. Basically, I'm going to be doing a combination of some chop and drop, thinning out, and I've already done some pruning, and I'm going to do a little more pruning and topping. Alright, so one of the first order of business is these moringa. They're a little leggy, they're starting to flower and such, but we should take care of this now while they're starting to get some growth. I want them to bush out on top a little more, so what I'm going to do is just give them a nip. This goes to the goats or harvest. It's pretty minuscule, but it's better to do it now than later. Then we've got this other guy right here. I'm going to take him down to the same level. That's that. Got a pot on here. Save some seeds for later. All right, so another thing I have behind me is this Mexican sunflower. It's gotten quite out of hand, but we're just gonna go ahead and take this down a bit. Combination of chop and drop and fodder for my goats. But yeah, this was for some frost protection for some things around here, and we're just gonna take it down. All right, so on another note, another thing that I do with this is I'm taking it down right now because we don't have a lot of sun, but I can just as easily let it come back and provide some shade too as it gets hotter out. But I'm gonna go ahead and take some of this and use it as chop and drop. All right, and the rest goes to the goats. All right, so another big one behind me is the bananas. I have a clump up front that I've already taken care of, and I have 3 more clumps. But basically, if we had a hard frost, I'd take them down as low as I needed to, but it wasn't too bad. So what we're gonna do is just clean up some of the dead stuff, and same principle, chop and drop. Goats love it too, although they do prefer the fresh leaves, but yeah. All right guys, so you get the gist of that. This clump, yeah, I could afford to thin it out. I'm not gonna do it right now because we're running out of light. But basically, the rule is that you leave 3, one that's about to go to flower, the most mature one, and then one about halfway, and then another one. That way, you know, once one's done producing, another one will go, etc. So I like to leave about 3 or 4, depending. Also, I am pressed on time, but I do plan on reaching the harder to reach leaves up there, and also in time they'll droop down and be easier to access. All right, on to one of the bigger areas, the passion vine. I have one vine that really got bit, and I think it's a combination of the cold weather and the goats maybe getting to the root a little bit, which I've since taken care of, but we do have a lot of dead passion vine. All right, so on the fence here, you do have quite a bit of passion vine. All right guys, and to be honest, with the daylight going out as quick as it is, we're gonna continue this tomorrow. All right guys, so I'm back a few days later. It's actually been raining a lot, although I did finish most of the cleaning up, I'll show you guys around. We still have a little drizzle right now, so I'm trying to keep my camera dry, but I will show you some of the progress we made. Most of what I did was the chop and drop. All that Mexican sunflower has been dispersed amongst the beds. Bananas are looking pretty clean. I didn't exactly get on the ladder and get crazy with it. Along the fence here, I had a lot of chop and drop with the Mexican sunflowers. You'll see I've mulched with everything. I took this down quite a bit. Bananas here, I still need to thin this bunch out, but I did clean up a lot of the stuff except for everything on top. But you'll see I got a lot of mulch out of all that. Mulch the papayas up. The fence here, where I had the living fence, I had lilikoi or passion fruit. I cleaned up a lot of what was dead, and that was a combination of the cold weather, and also I think the chickens and goats may have gotten to the roots, which I covered up with a bunch of logs over here, even though Coco still wants a piece of that. All right, so lots of mulch here. Some of this is a lot of this mulch was the bananas, the chaya, and then I topped it off with some hay from the goat pen and manure. Cleaned up this area here. We had some sugar cane. I still need to thin out a little bit, harvest some, and possibly thin out this clump of Namwa bananas. Right here, I have a lot of chop and drop from chaya, Mexican sunflower. I took this chaya down significantly. My back fence is exposing the railroad. It's pretty ugly. But I do have lots of living passion vine that honestly will probably only take about a month to cover this fence. And so it's still meandering all the way through. Papayas are a little more exposed and cleared out now. Chopped and dropped a lot of that Mexican sunflower. I have a Mexicola avocado here that I had protected with this Mexican sunflower, and since chopped it all back, giving it a little more sun exposure, but leaving some for when the heat hits, I can cover it as needed. And just lots of chop and drop. All right, so we're getting some drizzle here. I'm gonna wrap things up. This was kind of more of a blog type style thing, but just showing you how I maintain everything when spring hits, and you know, some of the beneficial things that I've covered in previous videos that you may want to incorporate into your food forest. All right guys, well that's gonna do it for today's video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. I do have a lot of projects like this that I'll keep you updated on, and comment below if you have any input. All right guys, until next time, thanks for tuning in.